Hello everybody, how is it going? So, another match from the flagship event in Tokyo. We got Red Purple Law versus Rebecca. I've heard this matchup is quite good for Red Purple Law. I think this is one of the few of the in-person events where we actually get a Red Purple Law on stream, so felt like I had to cover it. I'm quite excited for this deck. Kinda unfortunate we don't get it till much later in the OPO4 format, but in the meantime I really want to check out Rebecca and Doflamingo, so it's all good. I'll have some new stuff to mess with in the meantime. But Rebecca starting it with her leader ability and then playing her own one-cost searcher, grabbing a Luffy first, and now we'll see what he grabs here. I don't think he has a King Kong gun in hand, might want to have one. I also don't think Red Purple Law plays many 1-drops, so Leo might not be that good. Also, just like sticking in Orlumbus against Red Purple Law seems quite hard. But, yep, ends up taking the King Kong gun. Just a random thought about the channel, first of all. Appreciate everyone's support lately. Everyone seems to really enjoy these videos, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy everyone's enjoying it, but I still want to do sim gameplay. I will definitely continue uploading these eventually. I have a plethora of content right now I could go over for at least the OPO4 format in the OCG, but I still myself want to upload some sim games, so I'm trying to find a good balance between the two. For now, I think I'm just gonna rotate between the sim videos and these commentary videos. So yeah, that's my plan for now. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I guess back to the match. Law's turn 2. Just attacks 5 at life with his leader, and then plays down a Rush Zoro and swings 5 at life again. It's cool to see Rush Zoro. I think he's pretty good in Red Purple Law. He kind of fits your 3-drop needs before the OPO5 cards, so that's nice. But Law will use his effect, bottom deck the Rebecca Searcher, and then play out a Shachi and Penguin to ramp 2. So it doesn't really hurt his curve. For being at 4 Dawn is perfect for Red Purple Law most of the time, at least early game, because you're probably just dropping a 4 cost and then using leader ability, or not, just depending if you're playing higher end cards. Like in OPO5 you play Eustace blocker, so usually you want to at least get to your 5 or 6 Dawn turn to play down the Eustace, because he keeps your Dawn economy much healthier than if you don't have him. But Rebecca playing down Orlumbus and just passing. I feel this is when Red Purple Law kind of gets a bit out of control, because Rebecca needs to have a body on board to fight back into the characters. And yeah, sure, Law will use a ton of cards from hand to play every turn, but if he can kind of answer all these early bodies, it's real hard for Rebecca, because she can't swing with her leader. So, and if you don't have anything on the board, Law his board will get so wide so fast, and it's gonna be quite hard to keep up for Rebecca. And yeah, Law's turn 3, he has 3 5k swings at Rebecca, and I believe he does have an answer to this Orlumbus, so it's not getting any easier for the Rebecca player. So yeah, 4-drop Film Law, basically just an Otama on play. Really solid card in this deck, will be searchable once the new 3-drop Law comes out in OPO5. For now, you can search it through the 1-cost event that the 3 purple decks or red purple decks get. I forget exactly what it's called. But yeah, using leader ability, bottom decking Orlumbus, playing out a Beppo, another one of those engines that helps your Dawn economy. But yeah, this is looking rough for Rebecca. She is one more turn, or he, I don't know, I'm referencing a leader, but you guys get what I'm saying. This is their 6th Dawn turn. Next turn they'll be able to Luffy, which will help them fight back into the board. We see have 2 Colosseums, so one is probably getting played this turn for that Luffy turn. That'll help him clear out some of Law's board. The rest of this turn, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is. It looks like he has a Kyros. I don't see a Sabo or anything. Probably will yet use leader ability. Won't be able to play Sabo if he finds it, but he doesn't find it, so kinda doesn't make a difference. Sees another Kyros and sees a 2k counter. I think it's Gyatz, if I remember correctly. Him already having a Kyros, and honestly just how easily Law can answer Kyros, yeah, I feel like he's just going to take the counter. And Rebecca will play down the Kyros. Nothing to pop because all of Law's board is 4 costs, but he still gets the mill 1. And yeah, we'll swing 6 at one of the bodies here. So that's at least solid. Having Colosseum there allows Kyros to put in some work of just trying to get rid of the board. Thinking about what he wants to swing in here. It kind of really doesn't matter. The only character that has an effect on board is Beppo, and you can't attack him right now, so just going after either the Zoro or the Shachi is fine. Law will let the Zoro go. That's fair. He is very low on cards because Rebecca has not really been able to swing at life at all, nor do I think she really would. It's Rebecca, so he picks up a Blocker Law, purple Blocker Law, and looks like he has a Beppo in hand, an Otama, and I believe that's page 1 on the end there, maybe just for a 2k counter. I'm not quite sure. I would think page 1 is a 2k counter. I don't know. I don't really know purple cards too well. But Law swinging 5 at Rebecca's life, ramping 1 with Beppo's effect. Rebecca having 6 cards in hand. This turn will probably be a little bit rough. Will looks like he will counter out of this first hit. He'll probably end up taking at least 1, maybe 2. We'll see how the turn plays out. Law thinking about attaching a Dawn, or just tapping a Dawn. He could Otama and then leader the Kyros, which again just puts Rebecca even further behind. Law will swing 5 at life once more. And Rebecca will counter out of that one as well. Okay. Seems reasonable. Law will swing 6 at life. Yep, goes 6 at life. We see 1 2k counter in Rebecca's hand, and he does not want to use it. Picks up a second 2k counter, so that's not too bad. He could drop both of the counter cards here if he doesn't want to eat this hit, but yeah, he will take that hit. And picks up a Kyros. Law saving 1 Dawn, will Otama the Kyros, and we will put Kyros back on the bottom. Likely playing the Beppo, I would imagine. Yep, plays down the Beppo, ramps 1, and passes it back to Rebecca. So this would be their 7-drop Luffy turn. I imagine they're gonna take it in hopes of just trying to start answering this board. Law is low on cards, so if he can, clear some this turn and survive next turn, he's in an okay spot. He does currently have too many cards in hand to use his 1 extra Dawn for leader effect this turn. I think he's just looking at graveyard. Looks like he probably will play the Luffy. I imagine that's really the only play this turn, because you need to do something about Law's board. Thinking about his options. Unfortunate, he has like a Colosseum stuck in hand, hasn't seen a Sabo to kind of filter that out. But he does drop the Luffy here. I imagine he's gonna go after the Beppos, because again, they have effects the other 5Ks don't. So yep, he goes 7 at one of the Beppos. Law will let it go. And then activating Luffy's restand ability. Just trying to figure out what he actually wants to put back. Looks like some Leos and Orlumbus, Gyatz. I think the 2k or the two cost blocker, another Gyatz, and I didn't see one of the cards, but they're going on the bottom. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, there we go. You got to zoom in. Oh, Rebecca Searcher was the last one. And yep, resending the Luffy. Oh yeah, after playing Luffy, he can leader effect this turn. So yeah, he'll probably try to clear, and he does clear the other Beppo, and then we'll use our last Dawn for leader. So use another Coliseum and a Gyatz. That's a pretty obvious. Just take the 2k counter. We don't need another Coliseum. Passes it back to Law. We're gonna be at, is it 4 Dawn or 5 Dawn right now? Counting is hard. Looks like 5 Dawn right now. He picks up a Miss All Sunday for turn. Interesting to see that in Law. I've mainly seen it in like Luffy, but I don't think it's bad. Hitting it off trigger is obviously kind of crazy. So yeah, definitely a solid card. He could just straight up play that this turn and then just swing a bunch of 5s at life. As the alternative is like playing blocker Law. But I guess he could play like Miss All Sunday, ramp 1, and then use leader effect, don't bottom deck anything, play out Law. Because Rebecca is at 7 cards in hand right now, so Law does get a lot of value. And Miss All Sunday does just kind of replace herself. So, seems like a pretty solid line, I would say. So, tapping 5. We are going to play the Miss All Sunday, ramp a Dawn, and draw a card because we have 6 or more Dawn. I believe that's how the card works. Sees a Queen. So the rest of our turn will probably just be, okay, yeah, so right now he will just immediately use leader to play down blocker Law and minus a Dawn to rip 2 cards, which is really good, really good. Let's see what he hits. Takes the 2 on the end. Hits a Coliseum and a Barto. So honestly, pretty good hits for the Rebecca, getting rid of one of his dead cards. The 2k, yeah, it kind of sucks, but at least it hit the Coliseum. Law swinging 5 at life. Rebecca will drop a 2k counter. Law going 5 at life again. Rebecca still having 2 more 2k counters, so in theory he can get out of the rest of the hits this turn. I don't know if it's worth defending that 1 life, going down to, 2 cards. You're pretty much just gonna die to the swarm of 5ks next turn. And he does take the last hit and then counter out of Law's last 5k hit, or the last life, sorry. And we'll counter out of the last hit from Law. He sees another 7-drop Luffy. Yeah, it's looking like maybe play the Luffy, try to clear 2 bodies, and then play a blocker and hope for the best. I don't know. It's a rough turn, because it's not like he can just randomly go for game with King Kong gun right now. Law still being at 4 life, which is kind of crazy. This matchup just seems bad for Rebecca. Looking at his grave, I don't think right now he has enough to restand both Luffys, which yeah, it's rough. Could have potentially been pretty impactful if he could have, because could have cleared maybe 3 bodies, and then he'd only have to worry about 2 swings, and with a limited amount of Dawn because it's Law. So a bit unfortunate there, but hopefully he will still be able to clear 2 bodies here. I believe one of the cards in Law's hand is a 2k counter, so if he just swings 7 at two of the bodies, Law could defend 1 if he wanted to. So it looks like the Rebecca player is deciding which Luffy to restand. I imagine the one he used last turn would be better, just so the other one isn't locked next turn. If he has a next turn. That really just depends. Looks like, yeah, he just has enough. He has 8 cards in grave, puts 7 of them back, leaves the Coliseum. And he'll get one more swing on one of Law's bodies. See his hand still only 2k, two 2ks, a King Kong gun, and a Kyros. I don't even know if playing like the Barto here makes a huge difference. Yeah, it could potentially, but then you'd only have one counter card in hand. I don't know. The game is looking pretty over, honestly. So, swing 7 at... Again, doesn't really super matter. They're all just 5k bodies right now. Goes for the Law. Okay, alright. He didn't like the clay art, I understand. Nah, but just messing around. Let's see if he actually ends up playing the Barto. I really don't think it makes a difference either way, honestly. Game looks pretty sealed in favor of Law. Could just leader ability here and maybe just try to find another counter. I don't know. It just doesn't seem good either way. Taps 3. And he actually plays the Kyros to pop the Otama, I guess. Otama wouldn't have even been able to swing next turn because Law would only be on 4 Dawn. But, yeah. I mean, it's a play. And then he'll swing into the Penguin. Okay. Or the Shachi and Penguin, my bad. That makes a bit more sense, but Law will defend that pretty easily. I forget the Coliseum can do that. That was, yeah. That was fair. If Law had no counter, he maybe could have lived. I don't know, not really. He just doesn't have enough counter in hand. Yeah, Law going 5 at life, be met with a counter, then going 7, and yep, Rebecca does not have enough. And that is the game. Well, thank you guys for watching.